My name is Niall O'Donoghue, and this presentation gives a developer-focused summary of our SRS. I'll highlight two key models and the requirements that matter most to the development team. So as a developer, I need to know how to build and maintain the platform. So I need the SRS to define how the system behaves, who interacts with it, and what technical or regulatory constraints apply. The developer role focuses on system reliability, performance, API integration, and it ensures the system behaves consistently with these requirements. This is one of the most important use cases for a developer because it represents a full booking workflow. It includes the trigger, preconditions, post-conditions, the main success steps, and the alternative flows. For the developers, this model is valuable because it tells them exactly what the system must do at each step, where data validation is needed, and where integration with the payment gateway occurs. For developer insight, this use case outlines the complete booking workflow and highlights payment gateways integration points, which directly shape implementation tasks. The onion model is highly relevant for stakeholders that are developers. It shows the stakeholders at different interaction levels, distinguishes direct system actors such as guests and hosts from external ones like payment providers, notification services, and regulators. This model helps understand the system boundaries, where key integration and dependencies exist. It also supports planning for API design, data flow, and security requirements. The key requirements for developers are functional requirements and constraints. For functional requirements, search properties with filters, book a property and process payments, cancel bookings, and update availability calendars. Then for constraints, you have GDPR and PCI DSS compliance, integration with external payment APIs, and then secure HTTPS and TLS communication. These requirements directly affect architecture, error handling, and API design. For questions, as a developer, these are three questions I would ask to clarify gaps or assumptions. Should refund processing be synchronous or should we use asynchronous callbacks from the payment gateway? Do we need to support multi-currency and exchange rates in the first release? And how strict should validation be for hosts adding new listings? For example, do we need a minimum number of images or mandatory fields? These questions help reduce ambiguity and ensure the features can be implemented correctly. I'll now talk about my experience doing the SRS. Main contributions to the SRS were developing the stakeholder matrix, writing the system constraints, adding the functional requirements and writing them, developing the external interface requirements, and then help write and organize sections of the SRS document, cleaning it up and making it ready for submission. Strengths and weaknesses. My strengths were ensuring the functional requirements and constraints were consistent, detail-focused, and use lecture notes effectively. So for my weaknesses, I spent too long perfecting sections. I need more frequent team communication. And then balancing workload was very difficult between work outside of college and work in college. And I also have a bad habit of procrastination. The most difficult part was constant model updates causing rewrites. And then I overcame this by adapting and checking the changes with the rest of the team. For the most useful part was seeing how stakeholders' roles linked to the functional requirements and constraints. Once the stakeholders were clearly defined, writing accurate requirements became much easier. And then what I do differently next time is I communicate earlier, ask clarifying questions sooner, and keep closer track of group progress to avoid last-minute changes or rewrites. Overall, this project helped me understand how important clarity, collaboration, and traceability are when producing a high-quality SRS. Thanks.